Nair, the midnight rider.
Ever get totally sucked into a story? Like 1 minute it seems like just another story, then bam, it hits you with this unexpected depth.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking those stories that really stick with you.
Exactly. That's what we're diving into today with Nur.
This is going to be good.
It really is. Our deep dive today takes us into a single source, this really powerful story by a young writer named Isabel Olivo. She was only 13 when she wrote this.
Wow. Only 13.
I know, right? Okay, so Nur, her story, it unfolds in this vibrant place, Villa El Carmen, Managua, Nicaragua. You can practically feel the energy just thinking about it.
I love that she said it somewhere specific like that.
Me too. It just adds this whole other layer to the story. And Nur, she's painted as this joyful soul, just full of light and laughter.
Sounds idyllic so far.
But, and here's where things take a turn. There's this hidden struggle inside of her.
Ah, so it's one of those stories, a classic light versus dark kind of thing.
You could say that, but what's really interesting here is that Isabel, she took that classic theme, that light versus darkness, and she turned it inward.
Turned it inward.
Yeah. So it's not a battle against some outside force. It's happening within her herself.
Yeah.
Like a battle in her own mind. It makes it way more psychologically complex, right?
Oh, absolutely. And so much more relatable, too. I mean, haven't we all felt that kind of internal struggle at some point? That disconnect between how you present ourselves to the world and what's really going on inside.
Totally. And speaking of how it's presented, the way Isabel describes Nur's transformation, it's honestly masterful. Like you can practically see the light within her slowly fading, the laughter turning into silence, the vibrant energy replaced by these shadows.
It's such vivid imagery, really powerful stuff. It's like, how do we even begin to understand those internal struggles? How can we help someone or even ourselves when we feel that out of sync?
Well, and that's where this line really got me. Isabel writes, she felt as though her own mind was no longer her own. I mean, talk about a terrifying feeling. To lose control like that, especially at such a young age.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling, that loss of control, that's something I think we can all relate to.
100%.
But there's another layer to this, right? Because it's not just an internal struggle. The story mentions this ancient force hungry for control, which begs the question, what is that force?
Right. Like, is it some external entity? Or is it more of a manifestation of something internal? Societal pressures, psychological breakdown.
It's such a fascinating question, and honestly, it's a question that's been debated for, well, probably as long as humans have been around. What is it that drives us? What controls our thoughts and actions?
And to think, all of this depth, this intrigue, it's all coming from a story set in this small village in Nicaragua, written by a 13-year-old. It just goes to show you, powerful stories can really come from anywhere.
It really does, and it just makes you wonder what Isabel's going to come up with next.
I know, right? I can't wait to see what she does in the future. Huge kudos to Isabel for this thought-provoking story.
Huge kudos.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. If you were to step into Nur's story, how would you help her reclaim her light? Think about that. Let us know. Until next time.
Look for Nair, the Midnight Rider, in YouTube. Nair, the guardian of the innocents.
Nair, la guardián de los inocentes.